Welcome everybody to Waterbox Live here on Wednesday evening. Wrong shirt. Wrong shirt.
I'm on it.
Appreciate you guys being here. We're giving away some stuff today. We got an exciting episode.
We do. We're talking about upgrading tanks, moving tanks, all the kind of information along with those. We actually did it for the all-in-one ORA Peninsula, and we're going to show you that as well.
Cool.
Let's get it started. All right, we're back.
If you guys haven't already, smash that like button for us. It helps us out a tremendous amount. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel, hit those notifications because we are here twice a week.
Yes, we are.
I feel like you were waiting for me to say something kind of crazy.
I never know.
That was a very mild version.
This is my moment of like, what's he going to say this week? And you never know. You just never know.
What is his intent?
You're good this week.
Yeah, right. I'm good.
Engage in the comments, ask questions, answer questions, make friends, all that good stuff. We're giving away 2 Waterbox shirts today, and the currency for that is to like the stream and be active in the comments.
Love it.
So you must do
yes.
it. Mandatory, mandatory, mandatory.
It is 100% mandatory that you gently graze and or elbow the like button.
Elbow check it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the elbow check. It works.
What are we giving away today?
2 Waterbox shirts. Like
okay, you already said that.
Anyway, so before we get talking about moving aquariums, upgrading aquariums, changing your filtration, we have something super exciting that we've been wanting to do for a really long time. We wanted to make sure we paired it along with the ORA. We're revisiting that aquarium because it was a great build. So we have the Adventures of Gary.
Yes, I love this.
All right, so here you go. You use the Gary cutout provided. Oh, and it's gone. Come back. Come back.
Brian's like, I'm done with this.
No Gary for you. All right. For anyone who doesn't know, Gary is a ginormous old Trocus, the biggest one I've ever seen. And ORA sent him to us, and everyone fell in love with him. So you take the Gary cutout provided and create an image to show us what Gary has been up to. Send him on some adventures. Time to get the Photoshop out. One lucky person will win a very special Waterbox swag bag of some goodies. So you can get all the other details and where to enter, waterboxaquarium.com /Gary.
/Gary. I love this, you guys. Here's some examples of what you can do to Photoshop Gary into his adventures. Gary's got to go on adventures. He's got new eyes.
Yeah.
We got to send him out there. You can put him in space. We
want to see some really creative stuff.
You saw him on a sea turtle.
Yeah. The sky's the limit. So figure out some cool stuff to have Gary doing. This is going to be going on until the 13th. And then we will pick a winner after that. And then also we'll show all the entries and stuff like that. So I'm excited for this.
I am too. I've been waiting for this for a while. We've had this plan. Again, waterboxaquariums.com /Gary. Bust out Photoshop. Bust out whatever photo editing you have on your phone.
That's true. On your phone, you can do like anything now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We want to see Gary.
Take Gary with you somewhere, like selfie Gary. I don't know. Like there's so many possibilities. I can't wait to see. So we finally get to announce that.
Yeah.
Finally happened.
Yeah.
All right. So get on that. Do that. You've got a couple weeks. And along with our ORA build, we probably haven't touched on it in probably the last month and a half. We know some other builds. But if you missed it, you definitely want to check it out. We did a full aquaculture build with ORA.
Yeah.
And an all-in-one 4-foot peninsula. And it's been doing great. We really revolved around that idea of everything aquaculture, the fish, the corals. And we finally are moving it to a different part of the studio. Well, the other wall. Because the one wall it's on is going to be where the freshwater tanks are going to be set up, and we're getting close to doing that. So it's going to the other side.
I feel like we got to tell this story though.
Go for it. I didn't know if we should. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the reason that this build was on the freshwater wall, as we call it, was because when we moved into the new studio, it didn't occur to us till a while after moving in that the very back left corner of the studio had sunk in. The foundation had settled down in.
And the floor went like that.
I don't even know how many inches. I would say at least 3.
Yeah.
A lot, where we could not level the tanks without extreme modification. something you need to look for when you're putting an aquarium in your house.
Yeah.
So we had to wait months for them to come out, drill holes, raise the floor back up,
Self-leveling
etc.
foam and stuff like that. So that finally was accomplished last week. That got completed. So our floor is level. We can use all the space in the studio, which was a kind of a limiting factor. So that tank has to move over to the saltwater side since it is a permanent residence. And originally when we did the build, we weren't sure if it was a permanent tank. So now that we've decided that it's for sure.
We fell in love with it. We had to.
Fell in love with it. That it's for sure staying with us. We wanted to, and that's kind of one of our reasonings, to upgrade it to the Peninsula 4820 with a sump.
Yeah.
We're going to be adding more SPS and more clams coming up soon. Stay tuned for the next couple weeks. Wanted to be able to have space for a bigger skimmer, reactor, more flow, just more functionality.
Yeah.
So we decided to go ahead and upgrade it to the sump version.
It's also got more water volume in it. It's a bit taller.
Yes.
It's a really nice system, and filtration was the big thing.
It is.
You know.
So a lot of times people are going to upgrade their aquarium purely just for the filtration aspect. You start with a Cube 20 or something similar like we did an all-in-one. Then you decide you want to go so you have better filtration, but maybe you don't have necessarily the same amount, like any bigger space. And we decided not to upgrade the actual size of the aquarium as far as footprint goes because we like the size of it. It's perfect for an aquacultured build. And then also the rockscape we have, we liked the sizing of it.
Right.
So we wanted to stay in the same footprint, but just increase our filtration. But you know, any of those options as far as just wanting more equipment, a little bit more space, going into from a non-sump to a sump version is beneficial in those ways. Now, all-in-ones are great. We just wanted to be able to have a bigger skimmer. And we'll show you the equipment that we used on this one.
We also wanted the new Peninsula here. We had to try them out.
Yeah, so.
I also was realizing as we're talking, I have a little bit better view than you because I always get to see the aquariums when I look down there and I see the nice shiny new Peninsula.
Yes, it's nice. And a lot of times people upgrade their tank just purely for the filtration aspect of it. If you want to add a refugium or have more stuff down in your sump, to not have any equipment showing, that kind of stuff. So a lot of reasons. Now, a lot of people will upgrade just to go bigger because they need a bigger tank.
Right.
A lot of times you're talking, your fish have gotten too big.
Right.
Your corals are outgrowing themselves and they're covering all the spot where you get forced into upgrading to a bigger size. You you got rid of a TV and made room for a fish tank and you could have a bigger one, you know. Or if you have like smaller fish, you're like, oh man, I really want this hippo tank or something, you have to get a bigger tank.
Right.
But moving a tank, even if it's established to a new size, just moving anything to do with an established aquarium can be very, very scary. Most people don't want to do it.
Right.
Sounds horrible. They're very scared to do it. So we're going to kind of talking about the reasons why people upgrade or change their tank, but also key points and when you do it to make it the most successful.
Right.
Because it can be very, very scary.
Very daunting.
Most people have never done it. Like they're like, I'm not upgrading my tank because I don't want to ruin this one.
Yeah.
You know, it holds them back from getting a bigger tank or moving it to a location that might even be better in the house.
Right, for sure.
Like that.
Yeah, it's definitely daunting. I've moved a number of tanks, and it's not necessarily a fun thing, but sometimes it's necessary. So.
It is, but if you don't do it right, there can definitely be problems that arise from it. And you'll hear a lot of horror stories, but I think, few key things, being prepared for it is really it. So we actually have a video of transferring from the all-in-one into the new Sump system. And so we actually did this yesterday. So this one is now on the saltwater side. As you can see, the LX and the frag there and an empty spot. Have this all set up and in place, and adding our CaribSea Fiji pink sand. That's what we use on all of our builds here.
Yep.
I think I'm doing roughly 3 bags in here. That's enough of deep depth sand bed for me. You can definitely go 4 if you want it a little bit thicker, which would be no problem. Now, here's the existing. Taking off the equipment, took the lights off, the Nero, starting.
Oh, the brave siphon.
And I have 2 big Rubbermaid brutes, actually up on like a wheeled dolly. Fill them with water so that you can put your rock in there. Now, I attempted to put the rock in the way that it would come out and go back in.
Mm-hmm.
Try to do it so you can put it back together pretty closely.
How'd it work out?
You'll see. I tried to be gentle, putting them in there because there is a lot of coral on the rock that is glued into place. I didn't want to take them off if I don't need to because we're just going, you see, right across the studio. Nice big pieces. I'm leaving the fish in for now because definitely want to get the whole tank set up and going first.
The fish are like, what the hell?
Yeah, they weren't too happy that day. They were just darting around. So I put them in here and then brought them on over to the new Peninsula and attempted to lay them out as best I could. It did not go back exactly, which is to be expected. If you ever get something aquascaping back down exactly how it should go, you should have a medal or an award or something.
It's very difficult.
It's very difficult, especially you're kind of on a time crunch here because I had everything out of water, but I don't want to do it, put the sand in water first. We wouldn't be able to see and show you what we're doing. Rock is in, relatively happy with it for now, and go ahead and get it filled. Letting it go onto a rock so I don't disturb the sand. It's going to fill a lot clearer, which is going to let you put your fish and stuff in a lot faster. You can all the corals just sitting out. I made sure to kind of pour water over them regularly so they didn't completely dry out. Kept them pretty much moist and nice and full. Can't see it too well.
Who'd have known that Stacy had this much aquarium knowledge?
She must have learned it from her sister Jess, so I don't know. Went ahead and put the fish in there, and actually a couple fish did not make the transfer, so I decided that the lemon damsels were not going to make it over to the new tank. They have become aggressive, one in particular, and I feel like we may have lost a few fish due to the aggressiveness. So they're going to go live in our 6-foot frag. We have a chromis and a damsel and a really skittish blue hippo in there. So they're all going to live over there, but they're just not making it over, and it's going to give us room to put in more fish from ORA coming up over the next couple weeks. And as you'll see, this version of Peninsula is about 4 inches taller than the all-in-one.
Yeah.
So the rock doesn't quite fill it the way I'd want.
I'm looking at it though, but I kind of dig it.
But I need opinion because I'm kind of 50-50. I'm like, I think it looks good. I actually spread it out a little bit. The rock is more, has more tunnels in it, and there's a little bit more swim space, but it looks a little bit short, I think, but I can't tell. So I'm gonna let you guys actually decide.
I'm not gonna lie, like, especially because we have SPS in there. This is my early opinion. You know, they have lots of room to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, if the tank's up for long enough, I mean, that was always the thing that I did early on when I had SPS is a lot of those branching SPS, they grow up.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives a bit more swimming room. Personally, I think it's okay.
So yeah, so I'm gonna actually let you guys give some opinions. So it is changed up a little bit. I don't know if Keena's gonna do a walk around up close to it. But you'll see, so before it was one continuous piece. It was actually in 2 separate islands with a little swim through between them. You can't tell unless you get a certain angle. But I like that's very, very open. So everything's gonna have a lot more room to grow. But I just can't tell if it needs to be a little bit taller. So I will take opinions. Rich is saying no. Keenan says yes.
Really? Keenan.
Dang.
I also thought it should be freshwater, so what do I do?
That's true.
I'm always so easy when it comes to aquascaping, especially like when you do it, because it always looks fantastic.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, that's
But
cool.
like, seriously, like, I'm like, yeah, it looks great. Move on.
Yep, so there's still some corals that are not put back up on the rocks, and a couple of the SPS did get unintentionally fragged. So a lot of them were a bit shorter than they were. They have some limbs off. I put them in the 6-foot frag. I'll put them on some mounts and then get them back in here and let them kind of just all grow back together. But everything you see is open. The fish are happy. And of course, I'm dosing bacteria just because it's not that stressful of a thing to do, but you still want to make sure that any lost bacteria just from the rock being out at all, changing your sand to new sand, you know, that you take care of any bacteria that could have been lost in the whole process. So once smooth, main thing you have to do is be prepared. Have all your water ready, have all your containers, know your plan, and then change your sand. I always tell you, you've got to change your sand when you move a tank. You're asking for a lot of trouble, cycling, nutrients, all those issues. If you leave your sand bed, stir it up, scoop it out, any of that, it's going to be bad, bad, bad.
Yeah.
But just be prepared. Like we knew Tuesday is the day we're doing this. Mixed water 2 days in advance, make sure there's no problem there. Had all the buckets And it was like, we start at this time. Make sure you have extra hours than what you think, just in case you hit a snag.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
it has moved. So
I like it.
the next couple weeks, we're going to be doing more stuff and adding to the stuff from ORA. So you're going to see even more good stuff coming here, and especially now it's nice and established. So we're looking at some clams and some more SBS. I can't wait.
I'm excited for the clams. I love, 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 love clams.
And Gary's going to
You don't
be
see
off
him
on
as
adventures
much.
for the next 3 weeks as we get to see him
he's traveling
doing
around
stuff.
the world. You guys are going to put him in all sorts of cool places.
Yeah, Gary is actually right now in our 6-foot frag just because of the move and just a bigger tank. So he's over there. We'll see about putting him back into this one.
Yeah.
He's a big snail and he poops a lot.
Yeah, he craps
He might,
all over
he
the
might
place.
live in the 6-foot frag just by his sheer size, and there's more algae and natural stuff in there for him to eat.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to move him. And
He's
put
on
him
an
into a new-
adventure. He can't stay in the same tank.
That's true. He'll adventure to all the different. Maybe one day he'll make it to the LX and just hang out there.
Might be a
one day.
great tank for him.
That probably would be a great tank for
Yeah.
him. So right now he's living in a 6-foot frag. He might upgrade again over to the LX. But either way, he's here. We'll do some updates on him, but can't wait to see what people do for the Photoshop
Can we show that
challenge.
again, Keenan? Because there's a lot of people in here that weren't in here
Yes,
for that.
if you did not see the Gary the Trocus Snail Photoshop challenge, this is a huge Trocus snail from ORA. that they
Yeah, so
sent
the
us.
largest trocus snail I've ever seen. We named him Gary early on. We're doing an Adventures of Gary Photoshop challenge. So you're going to head to that URL there, waterboxaquariums.com/Gary, and you're going to download the cutout image of Gary and then Photoshop him in on his adventures. So we have some examples too of what you can do if you guys don't mind pulling that up. So here you go. You got Gary on a sea turtle,
It's just
Gary
cute
in
every
space.
time.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen this image many a times, but it's still adorable every single.
yep. And so you're gonna Photoshop your images and submit them there on waterboxaquariums.com/Gary. I'm really excited to see what people do with it.
Yes, yes.
Keep it PG.
Well, relatively.
Yeah.
We won't be
don't.
able to share it with others if it's not.
Yeah, make us
Huh?
laugh for sure.
Yeah, definitely make us laugh. We're looking for some great humor over the next few weeks of this.
I know
Definitely-
people are gonna come up with some crazy stuff. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Gary's up to. Definitely make sure you ask your questions about anything moving aquariums or a build, all of that. Oh, we have a question now.
Oh, you put them up?
Hey, we're doing questions. All right.
Thomas. Thomas says, what bacteria are you dosing?
I use Microbacter 7 by Brightwell. It's simple. I love it. I've used it for like the last 15 years.
It's good stuff.
And I've never had a problem. I've had more issues with those overnight cycle your aquarium bacteria than I've ever had by using Microbacter and just being consistent with it. I mean, nothing happens quick. Like anything that says throw this in here and put your fish in the next
Fish
day
overnight. Nope.
is not going to go well. And if it does, you're lucky. But in general, it doesn't. Take your time. We cycled everything for a week with nothing, ghost feeding, a week with inverts, week with fish, week with coral, and go in that route because it needs to have its time. So.
Jacob says, laugh out loud, PG. Well, I
He's
tried.
being hopeful. I guess if we say it, we have to say it. Met says, can you clean the sand? You cannot dig up your sand. You cannot really clean it. You need inverts to do that. Get things like conchs, Necerius snails, sea cucumbers, Serif snails. Those are all inverts that naturally clean your sand bed and keep it from disturbing the different levels. So there's certain levels that do mix with oxygen, some that don't. There's gases and bacteria and stuff that you don't want to disturb. At best, you can siphon gently the top surface if you have to.
Jordan says, the height is fine. Throw a torch up at the top and it will look fantastic. Talking about the Aquascape.
This is true. I do, because all my hammers and torches and stuff are on the sand bed right now, so it might have to be like towards the overflow. Make it a nice flowy area in that, and then that front part will be where the SPS arches.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. I got to put the corals back in place. So
If you guys haven't already, elbow the like button. Throw an elbow directly into the like button, and then hit the subscribe button because it's just off to the right.
and everyone has a broken phone. So there
Yes. All righty. All the people in the stream dropped out because their phone got smashed.
you go.
Fantastic.
Cat says, anyone here think I'm crazy for diving into a Peninsula 6025 as my first ever reef venture? heck no, man. You got our videos to teach you and show you the way.
Yeah.
It's a great size aquarium. You're going to love it. And I think, honestly, if you know what you're doing, like research and just be prepared and kind of plan out as you go,
Take it slow.
bigger is better because you've got more room for error. Somewhat. You got more room for more equipment, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's
Yeah.
going to last you a long time. When you start something smaller, it's inevitable that very soon you're going to be like, I need bigger.
Yeah.
And you end up getting a bigger tank. Probably keeping a smaller one too, and then
Yeah.
creating an
Multiple.
addiction, and then you
Yeah.
have a whole house full of aquariums.
Yep. Chance says, shouldn't you have 1 to 2 pounds of rock per gallon?
I don't think that rule necessarily applies. It's very hard to rate that because, and there's a good amount of rock in there, but you can't compare rock by weight because it's not created equal. So you can have some like regular old basish type rock that a piece this big, it's the size of like a softball, can weigh 5 pounds because it's just a big old dense brick.
Right.
And it has zero biological to it, and you're not growing much good bacteria on it because it's not very porous or surface area. Whereas you can have something like the CaribSea Life Rock, and that's what we use, that is not as heavy, and you can have this arch that weighs 7 pounds, but it's this bigger piece, more
Right.
surface area. So it's not you can generically say 1 pound per gallon, but it's not a set rule. Now, if you have a 100-gallon tank and you put 20 pounds of rock in there, yeah, you'd have a problem.
Yeah.
You can't do that far from it, but like somewhere in the vicinity of 1 pound per gallon, depending on the type of rock you have, is what you need to stick with. Now, if you put like a 100-gallon tank and you have 20 pounds of rock, you basically have a 20-gallon aquarium.
Yeah.
Like your rock is your main biological to keep your tank stable.
Yep.
So if you don't have enough rock, you just can't stock it as appropriately. Is that me?
Yeah.
Molly says, do you recommend putting cleanup crew or fish in your sump? If so, what? Evan, age 9. Aw.
My son's name is Evan. That's a
Aw.
wonderful name, Molly. My middle name's Evan. I have to say it.
There we go. Okay. So
You're welcome.
you're welcome. So if you have an area you can segregate away from equipment, skimmers, reactors, pumps, stuff like that, you can put cleanup crew or fish in your sump. I don't know what benefit it would be necessarily. You could do it if you have like an aggressive fish or a bad crab or something. You could put them down there. You just don't want them getting into your pumps and equipment. But there's no benefit to them just living down there.
Yeah.
I say every 3 to 6 months, do a water change out of your sump, clean up any debris. If you have good flow going through your sump, you're generally not going to have much buildup
Right.
in your sump at all. So on occasion, siphoning it, and that's really all you need down there.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Molly. Elmer says, I'm dealing with cyano. Any tips for cyanobacteria?
Ugh.
I love, trying to like figure out what it actually says.
Cyanobacteria, generally it's going to be in areas of lower flow. If you don't have anything like stirring up your sand or keeping that clean, they tend to be there. It is an actual bacteria, so sometimes it just appears and takes over. You can do a few things. Increase your flow. Make sure to, clean it off, siphon it out. But a lot of times, if you can't beat it naturally, increasing your flow, lowering your light if it's too much, making sure you don't have old light bulbs if you're not using LEDs, because those can create it. Then there is the ChemiClean.
Yeah.
And it works well. You just have to take precautions with it. It does work well. Do try to fix it naturally first, always. But it is a bacteria strain that's usually caused by like groups of uneaten food or too much waste or dirt and accumulation. So fix those things. If that doesn't work in last resort, then use a chemical.
Jacob, you got my attention, my friend.
Uh-oh.
He needs a Waterbox Under Armour polo.
He's trying to get your attention with a
Oh,
couple comments.
you know what's funny, you guys, is I actually do read these comments. You'll see me like zone out and like go into the, I'm actually reading them. It's really happening, see? All right, I don't know. I'll see what I can do, Jacob. You're a loyal watcher.
One of these?
Jacob actually took the lid from his blue water cup and smashed the like button with it.
Wow. That's commitment.
Yeah.
That is commitment. Justin says, should you put a power head in the sump to increase flow? Once again, I've never had a sump that was so low flow that I needed to increase it. Like, I would say you need to look at your filtration, your return pump, what's going on down there that you need a power head in a sump. I just don't, I've never come across it whenever you size everything properly, or you have the proper overflow box, return pump, and like setup of your chambers. Now, there's a lot of sumps out there, if it's a different brand or like setup, that the baffle setup is not correct. The flow through is not correct, where you do have dead spots in chambers that don't have great flow. That's a whole nother story, but I'm saying as far as well-functioning design sumps, I've never had to add extra to it.
Cool. I do want to say something that you guys see the Waterbox Under Armour polo. When I go home, I just take off the logo and I wear the same exact shirt.
No, it's true. I've seen them. I think, okay, I know many.
I have a clown closet. You go in there and it's like all Under Armour Waterbox shirts, and then the next section is all Under Armour, just no logo shirts. So.
No, this is for real. I've known you
My wife hates it.
number of years, and I can count on one hand that I've seen him as something besides an Under Armour or black shirt. And on occasion, I think there's been a purple and a blue. And then we all say how great it is to see him in color, and then he just shuts down on us and goes back to the black.
You know why I don't do it though? It's because
you get too much attention.
because I walk through the damn door and they're like, "Oh, look at this! You're wearing this colored shirt." I'm like, "Stop it! Pretend you don't recognize the fact that I'm wearing a different shirt."
And then he stops, so we ruin it every time. For years, I've counted one hand. One day. No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't know whose turn it is.
All right. I don't even know if this is the question.
This is one of them.
Koi Boy says, my freshwater sump has shrimp in it. They clean up all the detritus and such down there nice and clean.
Yeah, I mean, I can see in a freshwater would work more because you don't have as much equipment.
Yeah.
In a sump, it's kind of like a second tank for freshwater, whereas in the saltwater reef, you've got skimmer, reactors, and they're higher flow as well.
Yeah.
So, but I could see in a freshwater sump, it is a little bit lower flow. You don't have the same motorized equipment. You could probably make a pretty cool sump with it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, last one. So this is John. Hey Jess, your hair looks nice. Will that get me a shirt? Laugh out loud. Don't bring me into this.
I wasn't even paying attention. I just heard the last part of that because I was reading the comments. I love it when they sneak stuff in and you read it.
Yeah, I know you're reading.
Because they're not
on.
pre-screened, so we don't know what's coming up on
Also,
the screen.
while I have this hair color, I'm technically Stacy, according to him.
Yes. So that's you're not talking to Jess. This is
Yeah,
Stacy.
it was a faux pas of hair coloring at home, so I have black hair
It
for a
looks
while.
nice.
I'm
But now you're a new person.
But now I've been given a new name
Now you're
because obviously I
Stacy.
have a new life now that I have black hair. So I don't know. You gotta talk to him about shirts. I'm not in charge of this.
Oh, goodness.
And this is what happens here.
Yes. All right. Going off the rails. Got to get back to my notes.
All right. We have 2 T-shirts to give away.
Oh, 2 t-shirts.
Yes.
We have one right now. I got somebody.
It's in the notes.
It says t-shirt winners.
Up above, we are giving away 2 Waterbox T-shirts. Okay.
If you guys are having a good time, smash the like button.
Not good.
And we're a mess today. We're giving away
One right now.
1 T-shirt right now. Waterbox shirt, super comfy. Winner is Pat Burns. Congratulations. Woo! Email winners@waterboxaquariums.com and they will get you all taken care of.
Love it.
Congratulations. These are the most comfortable shirts.
They are. They're the
They are.
next level tri-blend. Everyone here loves them.
For a T-shirt, they're my go-to. I always am wearing a Waterbox shirt. If I'm not wearing the polo,
Yeah.
almost always in one of these. So then we'll work on another one.
Who wants to win
Oh,
a shirt?
Jacob says, are you guys going to add freshwater tank to the studio? You have no idea. We have a
Oh,
whole
my
wall
goodness.
set aside for freshwater.
Yeah, that whole area
Yeah,
right over
so the
there.
side that the all-in-one peninsula was on, that whole wall is going to be for freshwater builds. We got a lot of stuff planned. You'll start seeing that in the next couple months. All different sizes, all kinds of good
Planted,
stuff. Planted,
discus,
hardscape,
cichlid, yeah,
discus. We
everything.
got little mini builds, all kinds of cool stuff. We're very excited. Keenan's super excited because he's our freshwater guy. And you know, we haven't given love to that side. So you'll definitely see a whole bunch more of that coming soon.
Love it.
All right, we have number 2. All right, we have our shirt number 2 winner. The winner is
Molly Hightower. Congratulations, Molly.
Congratulations.
Email winners@waterboxaquariums.com. They will get you hooked up with your new Waterbox tea.
awesome. All right. So hopefully that's given some help to if you need to move a tank, upgrade a tank, change a tank. It's not bad. It isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think yesterday, even with doing some recording and stuff on it, I think we were done in, how long, Keenan? 2 hours?
Something like that.
Yeah, 2 hours. Getting everything moved over, filled, running, pretty clear. So it's like just being prepared. If we weren't prepared, that could take a whole lot longer, and
Yeah.
it would not be a happy tank today. Because like I said, we just did that yesterday afternoon. So we'll stay in touch with that one, and then next week we'll be at it. No, not next week. We're not here next week.
So you're still gonna get content.
We're not.
Okay,
We're not here
so-
next week because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I totally
I
forgot.
will not be here.
I didn't realize that when
Yeah.
I wrote this. So next week we're not here.
Thanks for reminding me.
He's leaving us for a week. Next week you're gonna still see us, sort of. No, okay. I forget what we're doing. We're gonna.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Who are
Tomorrow,
you?
tune in for LX build.
Oh yeah, tomorrow we're here, normal time, 1 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern Standard Time for the LX build. It's a Q&A on large reef aquariums, so definitely tune in there. Ask all your questions about keeping a large reef. And then next week we will do a little live check-in, live view of the ORA build and answer your questions through the messenger. And then we're also going to have some videos to drop, so you got to stay tuned to find out what
Yeah, you
those
guys
are.
gotta-
We've been working on a pre-recorded series that you're going to want to check out.
Yeah.
And that should be dropping on next Wednesday as
Yeah.
well.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notifications because you're not going to want to miss that one. We appreciate you guys all being here. We really do.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Remember, you can visit us online at waterboxaquariums.com.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching. See you next week.